Good morning. Topic classes to me is integrals. Now we have already completed differentiation. Now in differential calculus is centered on the concept of derivative, whereas integral calculus means bringing together and uniting the things, and that is mixing the things, and it is used to measure the things which can be length, area of curve under the given condition, and volume. You can understand. Let us draw time and speed graph. So now this is along this axis it is time, and along this axis it is speed. So if a particle moves with a constant speed, after 1 second, suppose here it reach as this point, after 2 seconds it reach as this point, after 3 seconds it reach as this point, and so on. So now we can find out the area of this region. From this to this, we have different conditions. Since in the graph it is a straight line, so we can find out its area. But when the graph is like this, then how we can find out its area? It is very tough. Earlier the method was used to convert it into small rectangles, very small rectangles, and find out area of each rectangle and add it to get the result. So nowadays we have a lot of changes, and we will use integral calculus to find out its area. Now in this process we can find out the original function whose rate of change is given, and it is denoted by the symbol this, which was given by German mathematician Leibniz. Now for example, velocity function can be obtained by integrating acceleration function, and position of a point by integrating velocity function. Now there are two types of problem. The first one is the problem of finding out finding a function whose derivative is given. That is called integral calculus. This is integral calculus and indefinite integral. And next, the problem of finding area of bounded region under the given condition. Now there is a connection between indefinite integration and definite integration. This is indefinite and this one is condition of definite integration. Now there is a connection between indefinite and definite integration. There is a connection, and which is called fundamental theorem of calculus. Now it shows the practical approach in different branches of science and engineering. Now integration, so that what we can say, integration is inverse process of differentiation. Integration is inverse process of differentiation. Let us consider derivative of a function. Let us consider derivative of a function capital X is small x. Implies that what we can write? Implies that antiderivative of small fx is capital Fx. So we can write it as d by dx of fx is equal to small fx. It implies that integration of fx dx is equal to capital Fx. Similarly, d by dx of capital Fx plus c is any constant. So we'll get here differentiation because the differentiation of constant is 0. So this implies that integration of fx dx is equal to capital Fx plus c. Here c is constant of integration, and it has, if we take the different values of c, what we'll get? We'll get a number of different functions. So integration of a functions are not unique. Implies that what we can say? Integrals of function are not unique, and it exists infinitely, and it exists infinitely many antiderivative and can be obtained, antiderivative can be obtained by taking different values of x. Here you see, if we take the different values of x, we'll get the different functions. So we can say it has infinite many solution in this case. Now let us see some basic formula to understand. Now d by dx of x raised to power n upon n plus 1. Now we have to differentiate it. When we differentiate, n plus 1 is a constant, 1 upon n plus 1 outside, and then d by dx of x raised to power n plus 1. Now we'll get n plus 1. Differentiation of x raised to power n is n x raised to power n minus 1. So it becomes n plus 1 into x raised to power n. So what will happen? N plus 1 cancel out, and we'll get x raised to power n. And here one condition is there. If you take n is equal to minus 1, this becomes 0. And if denominator becomes 0, it becomes, we can say it is not defined. So for another function, so what we can write? Implies that after getting, the condition is n is not equal to minus 1. After getting x raised to power n, now the inverse process, x raised to power n dx is equal to x raised to power n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c. C is here constant of integration. And the condition is n is not equal to minus 1. Now similarly, if x is equal to minus 1, now we have a different formula for this. D by dx of log x, and that is 1 upon x. So it implies that integration of 1 upon x dx is equal to log x plus c. Now let us see some different formulas that we have to learn e raised to power x is equal to e raised to power x plus c, a raised to power x dx, a raised to power x upon log a. Here some trigonometric functions are there, sin x, cos x, integration. Now you can find out the result. If we differentiate e raised to power x, we'll get e raised to power x. If we differentiate a raised to power x upon log a, we'll get a raised to power x. If we differentiate cos x, we'll get by using this negative sign, we'll get again sin x, because the differentiation of cos x is minus sin x, and minus minus plus it becomes sin x. So these are the basic formulas you have to learn. Similarly, in case of inverse function, differentiation of sin inverse x is 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. So integration of 1 upon under root 1 minus x square dx is sin inverse x plus c. That is, it is also written as minus cos inverse x, as the differentiation of cos inverse x is minus 1 upon under root 1 minus x square. So integration of this is minus cos inverse x. Similarly, this is integration, and the value is of this integral function is tan inverse x plus c. Similarly, it is minus cot inverse x plus c, and we have this another function. Now some more function is there. Similarly, if you differentiate in dx, we'll get simply x, and we have to use a constant of integration. Similarly, the formula for the tan x, cot x, sec x, and cosec x are written here. And before this, we have to understand some basic concepts, basic results. Suppose we have two different functions are given, then integration of fx plus minus gx dx is equal to integration of fx plus minus integration of dx. Separately, we integrate both the functions. Now next one is k times any function is given, and we have to integrate it to find out its integral. Integration of k fx dx is k is a constant, so take it outside. Now integrate simply fx. Now the third point is to understand the geometrical interpretation of this integration, indefinite integration. So now let us consider geometrical interpretation. Geometrical interpretation. Now let us consider the function fx is equal to 2x. So what we can write, integration of 2x dx, that is 2 outside x is x, dx is x raised to power n upon x raised to power n, integration is x raised to power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So it becomes x square by 2 to cancel out. So it is x square plus any constant of integration. Now let us consider it as y. So if we take different values of x, different values of x, c, if we take different values of c like 0, 1, 2, minus 1, minus 2, etc. So what we'll get? We'll get different functions such as y is equal to x square, y is equal to x square plus 1, y is equal to x square plus 2. Similarly, y is equal to x square minus 1, y is equal to x square minus 2, and so on. So to understand this on graph, now plot the graph along x-axis and along y-axis. X, y, and you see that y is equal to x square, y is equal to x square plus 1, y is equal to x square plus 2, and all these, this is a parabola. So we plot it on graph paper. So if we draw y is equal to x square, it passes through 0, 0, and the graph is, this is y is equal to x square. Similarly, if we plot y is equal to x square plus 1, so the graph, the point will be where it intersects y-axis 0, 1. This is y is equal to x square plus 1. Similarly, This is y is equal to x square plus 2. Now if we plot x square value of c as negative, so this is y is equal to x square minus 1, and one more y is equal to x square minus 2. When we draw a line x is equal to a may be greater than 0, a may be less than 0. So now here we'll consider the case a greater than 0. It may also be a less than 0. So this will be on that side, a greater than 0, x is equal to, so on that side. So if we draw a line x is equal to a, what will happen? This line x is equal to a intersects these parabola at different points. Let us consider this point is P0, P1, P2, P3, etc., P4. Now if we draw tangent at these points, so what will happen if we draw the tangents? So we see that these tangent lines, these tangents line where is parallel, these tangent lines are parallel. So when x is equal to a intersect at these parabola as P0, P1, P2, P3 and P4, the slope of this line dy by dx, slope of this line is dy by dx, and that is equal to 2 of a at x is equal to a. So what we can say implies that tangent to the curve, tangent to the curve at these points are parallel, and it implies that integration of fx dx is equal to fx plus c. We have different values of c and we'll get a family of curves. Here we'll get what we'll get? We'll get a family of curves. Now we'll compare differentiation and integration. What is the main difference, comparison between differential calculus and integral calculus? Though the first difference is both operations are on the functions. Both are operations on functions, integration and differentiation. Number 2, all functions are not differentiable. So what we can say, if function is not differentiable, then it is not integrable also. So what we can say, all functions are not integrable. Now third one is differentiation when it exists. When it exists is unique, while as integration is not. Integration is not. Now fourth difference, for any polynomial function px, if you take px is equal to, consider x square, so when we differentiate it, d by dx of x square, it is 2x. So that means power is diminished by 1, power is decreases by 1 here, power is decreases by 1. But when we integrate x square dx, it is x cube by 3 plus c. So now here power is 2 and here power is 3, so it is increases by 1. And the last difference is process of differentiation and integrations are inverse of each other. Inverse of each other. Now there are several methods of integration. Method of integration. Now first is by substitution. Second is by using trigonometric identities. Third is by parts, integration by parts. Fourth, integration of some special functions. And next, by using partial fraction. So these are some methods in indefinite integration. Now let us consider a simple question to understand the concept of integration. Take an example. Integrate 2x square minus 3 sin x plus 5 root x dx. Now here we have three different functions. One is x square, other is sin x, next one is under root x. So we separate them. 2x square dx minus 3 integration of sin x dx plus 5 integration of under root x dx. So what will get? Integration of x square by using formula x raised to power n. For integration of sin x, we'll use integration of sin x, and under root x will under root x, that is x raised to power 1 by 2, and it means again here we have to use the formula x raised to power n. So what will get? 2x cube by 3, this is minus and minus, plus 3 cos x and 5 times x raised to power half. Now let us see x raised to power half. It becomes x raised to power 3 by 2 upon 3 by 2. So we can write 2 by 3. So here 5 times 2 by 3 x raised to power 3 by 2 plus c. Simplify and we'll get the result. Now let us see the first method by using substitution. The first method that we have to discuss by substitution. By substitution. Now this is of the form, integration of the form of function phi x and its differentiation f phi dash x dx. Now here if we consider phi x is equal to, substitution means we have to consider, we have to substitute to change the integral in the form of formula given to us. So if we take here phi x is equal to t, what will happen? Its differentiation is already present here, that is phi dash x. So now let phi x is equal to t, implies that phi dash x dx is equal to dt. So above integral becomes ft dt. Now we simplify it. So this is the form where we'll use the method of substitution. Now let us see some examples to understand this method of substitution. These questions are given in NCERT book. Integration of tx upon x plus x log x. Now we have to integrate. Let us see this function. If you take in denominator x common, it becomes dx 1 plus log x. So if we substitute, if we take it as t, so what it becomes? Differentiation of 1 is 0 and log x is 1 upon x. So here we'll get 1 upon x. So we can convert it. So now let us consider 1 plus log x is equal to t. So this implies that differentiate it 1 0 log x 1 upon x dx is equal to dt. So integral becomes integration dt and dx upon x, that is dt, and this is t. So in dt upon t, and the formula for this is log of t plus c, and this is log, and the value of t is 1 plus log x. So we substitute it 1 plus log x plus c. Take another example. Integration of dx upon x minus under root x. To integrate this function, we can take here common under root x, it becomes under root x minus 1. So when we substitute this, we will get in this one. So now let us consider under root x minus 1 as t. So under root x means x raised to power half. Now differentiate it, half x raised to power minus half, half x raised to power minus half, and this is 0. That is tx is equal to dt. So we can write it as 1 upon 2 under root x dx is equal to dt. So implies that integration becomes dx upon root x, that is 2 dt, and this is 1 upon t. So take 2 outside as it is a constant. Dt upon t, it becomes 2 log t plus c, that is equal to 2 log, and the value of t is under root x minus 1 plus c. Yes, c is constant of integration. Now take some more example. Integration of e raised to power tan inverse x upon 1 plus x square dx. Now differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So now let tan inverse x is equal to t. It implies that 1 upon 1 plus x square dx is equal to dt. So this integration becomes e raised to power t dt, and integration of e raised to power t is e raised to power t plus c. So that is e raised to power t, t is tan inverse x plus c. So this is the required solution. Now take one more example. Integration of x plus 1 x plus log x whole square by x dx. So now let us see this question. X plus 1 upon x, x plus log x. If we take x plus log x, differentiation of x is 1, log x is 1 upon x. So what it becomes if we cross multiply x plus 1 upon x? Here it is x plus 1 upon x is already given. So for this question, now let x plus log x is equal to t. So differentiate it, x1 log x 1 upon x dx is equal to dt. So this implies that x plus 1 upon x dx is equal to dt. So integration becomes x plus 1 upon x dx, that is dt, and this becomes t square. So it becomes t square dt, and integration of t square, that is here we'll use the formula x raised to power n. So that is t raised to power 3 by 3 plus c. That is, value of t is x plus log x whole cube by 3 plus c. This is t square, this is dx, and x plus 1 upon x dx is dt. So t square dt, so t raised to power 3 upon 2 plus 1, that is 3 plus c. C is constant of integration. So this is required solution. Now take one more example. Integration of x cube sine tan inverse x raised to power 4 divided by 1 plus x raised to power 8 dx. Now here if we take this function, let us see, if we take this function tan inverse x raised to power 4, so differentiation of tan inverse x is 1 upon 1 plus x square. So it is tan inverse x raised to power 4. So its differentiation is 1 upon 1 plus x raised to power 8, and differentiation of x raised to power 4 is 4x cube. So we'll get x cube also. So here we'll consider, let tan inverse x raised to power 4 is equal to t. It implies that 1 upon 1 plus x raised to power 8 tan inverse x using formula x raised to power 4 into differentiation of x raised to power 4, that is 4x cube dx is equal to dt. So it becomes, integration becomes x cube by 1 plus x raised to power 8 dx is equal to dt by 4, and this is sine t. So we'll get 1 upon 4 integration sine t dt, and 1 upon 4 integration of sine x dx is equal to minus cos x plus c. So integration of sine t dt is equal to minus 1 by this is 1 by 4, so minus 1 by 4 cos t plus c. Now by substituting the value of t, we'll get minus 1 by 4 cos tan inverse x raised to power 4 plus c. So these are the some examples. Try some problems given in NCERT, and then you can also try some questions from CBSE sample question paper, CBSE question papers. Now the next topic is second one, that is by using integration by using trigonometric identities. Trigonometric identities we have learned in class 11th. Now some basic formula that we have to learn again for, to use it in integration. 1 plus cos 2x, that is 2 cos square x. Similarly 1 minus cos 2x is 2 sin square x, and we have a set of 4 formulas, that is 2 sin a cos b, 2 cos a sin b, 2 cos a cos b, and 2 sin a sin b. So learn this formula. In next class we'll start integration by using trigonometric identities. Thank you.